The hot seat's going on, man. Profile Podcast, we are here. Live Madison Park 2024 Coaches Classic.
How you doing? Tyrik Wilson, Youth Sports Initiative Manager for the Mayor's Office and Human Services.
Nice. So what is it you do exactly for the Mayor's Office with the youth in particular?
So there's a lot of great work going on in youth sports.
Yes,
as you know,
absolutely.
It's been going on for years.
Absolutely.
So basically my role is to help support the people that are doing the great work as much as I can, and also try to find innovative ways that we can fill the needs, that aren't being filled. So I say that to say it's like one area is reducing some of the barriers that kids have to accessing sports. So, of course, if you want to play basketball, football, you can walk down the street and find that.
Right.
It's some of the sports that are out there, like,
So I was going to take you to that question. So what are some of the other sports that you may tend to drive people to, right? Because sometimes in our community, it only feels like there's only two sports that people look at, right? They're only looking at either basketball or football when, to your point, there's so much more out there. And if we're doing our research and really on what financially pays a lot for some of these sports, you're talking about the baseballs and the soccers are some of the more higher grossing sports. So what is some of the other sports you really try to push the young people towards, besides just the stationary basketball and football?
So lacrosse is really increasing.
Yep.
So that's becoming a thing. Flag football.
Yes.
I don't want to call it actual football because flag football is football too.
Right.
But the real football players may have an issue with flag football on the rise.
I see my man Eric Lott joining on right there, who is a flag football player, and he's a great football player initially. So it's funny you say that as one of my guys who play football really well logs on.
Right. Yeah. So it's like that's growing. So like capitalizing on that.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely.
7-on-7 is becoming big.
Yep.
So why not meet these youth where they're at with that? Esports is something that's growing, and rowing, fencing, wrestling.
Yeah.
So again, these are the sports that say like people have to travel to suburban areas to access. So it's like I want to try to bring them more closer to the inner city. And again, people don't like them. It's okay, but they have the opportunity.
I was going to say that how receptive are the young people to those sports that are not in their normal comfort zone? How are you selling them on that with the lacrosse is and with the flag football? How do you sell them on that?
So honestly, it kind of sells itself because a lot of these kids, say with lacrosse, a lot of these kids are just having fun, just trying doing something new. Right. And then especially when they can connect with their friends. Yeah. It's funny, Parks and Rec has an archery program.
Wow, so, did not know that. Did not know that.
So and there's kids that genuinely are having fun with that because they've seen it on TV.
Right.
And that's so it's
archery. Wow, did not know that.
So they're doing that.
So how long have you been in this role with the city, and what was it that about the job that gravitated you just towards even taking a role like that?
Yeah, so I've been in this role since February.
Oh, so fairly new. Fairly new.
I've been involved with the city in a lot of different capacities, say all my life.
Right.
And so that's what got me into it. It's like youth sports. I was kind of born into community service space and youth sports space. Yep. So I have a passion with trying to find ways to give back because, there's people that allowed me to get to where I was at. And there's opportunities that allowed me to get to where I was at. Right. So there's that, but it's also working with these kids now and knowing that this generation is different. And some people may look at that in a negative way, but I look at it like, they just... they're a product of their environment, so we gotta help them in that.
Yeah, it's definitely a little more challenging, but it's no different than when we were growing up and stuff like that. I think the challenges that we may come to is because of the dominance of social media and that having a major impact on them, how they're viewed and stuff like that. So that could have an impact on them. Yeah. But yes, it's almost. You feel obligated, right? Because for the reasons you just said, you had people who looked out for you when you were that age, so it's almost like a rite of passage for you to turn around and kind of do the same thing with the youth that are coming up now. To take care of them, to give them guidance, because that's what a lot of them are kind of lacking a little bit. It's just guidance. There's nothing wrong with them. Everybody's a little misunderstood, but they're doing the right thing, and I think that's what's most important.
Exactly. And like you said, to your point, it's like to bring it full circle, it's like bringing these new innovative things.
Yeah.
A lot of times, part of my job is a lot, I guess, a lot of pre-existing things that you want to just amplify because it's like, why fix what's not broken? But also, on the other end, for me, it's like there's a lot of new things that these kids generally want to get involved in to learn about that may not be of the past. So it's like, okay, how can we bring that to them too?
Right.
You know, so that's just. It's the balancing balancing the old with the new.
Yeah.
And then being able to like just feel the needs and give these kids like more opportunities than we have.
Right. So what do you think when you come to events like this here, you know, that bring you know, black coaches together? What do you think about events like this in particular? Should we have more? Do we need more events like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sandra, this is dope because there's not enough opportunities for coaches to connect. They're out there,
right?
But there's not. I feel like there needs to be more. To your point. And then when you talk about you know, minority coaches, you know, the people who can are like, you know, who make up the majority of the sports industry.
Yes,
so
sir.
We talk about these role models
that
we have to put in front of these kids.
Absolutely.
These opportunities are great because we're just helping create better role models, you know, and we need to put more resources into that. Like, so that's also a huge component of my job, trying to find different ways that we can support the different coaches and that are currently in this world, try to figure out how we can help them be a little bit more emotionally intelligent. Yeah. Because like we talked about, these kids are different. We got to handle them differently. You know, not unfortunately, but it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So I feel like educating coaches on how we can better work with the kids in this generation, and also trying to help people who want to get into coaching and don't know how, try to find opportunities in events like these. I think this is great. So the more we do them, the more people have opportunity to be a part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, man, listen, I love what you do for the young people. What you're doing is amazing. Keep doing it. I myself, I do a culinary arts program for kids after school. So I think, like, you know, providing them with different ways and let them know that outside of sports, that there are other avenues and paths that you can take into it. So it's good that you're showing them more than just basketball, football. You're showing them archery, you're showing them rowing, fencing. Exposing them to more just gives them more of a wider lens, you know what I mean, on what they want to do in the future, man. So I definitely thank you for stopping through.
No,
I appreciate you, man. Definitely leave me some information for you, man, so I can stay in contact with you, brother. You know, I definitely appreciate it, man.
No problem. Appreciate the time.
Absolutely, no problem at all.